Hare Krishna. Sorry, could you please repeat what verse number it is?
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सह गयानंद श्री विशाखान्वितश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्पति गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Shukadaya Krishna Vistabhitani Prabhupada Tikriya Shri Guru Raja Swami Suvakta Nadaras Bihari Vyam Bhakti Vichakmadani Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistabhitani Shivate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinari Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachata Deshatani Mukam Kariti Vachan Pangum Nidara Devi Mukti Patamham Vanya Shri Guru Rinataranam. Okay, so we are reading Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. We are on chapter 11, text 42. So whatever has been described so far, very long, intensely, long list of devotees who are connected with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then in this particular one, expansion of Lord Chaitanya Nityananda. So description of their villages, their houses, their temples, and all the disasters, natural disasters, sometimes quarrel that happen among the family members and clans and everything have been described. So, and the center of everything has been the deity, you know, the parampara, the guru parampara. So you can see how difficult it is to get Krishna, right? It's very difficult to have a temple, to have a bona fide guru, bona fide temple, bona fide system. See how it's such a huge struggle. So if we by good luck, we receive something and we can hold on it and do our best to understand it and live our life according to what's being given to us. So that would be a great good fortune. Because everybody knows this material world is very risky. We don't know what may happen next. Physical calamity, emotional calamity, spiritual calamity should not happen, whatever it may be. Spiritual calamity should not happen. So now let's continue to read and see what's more. So text 42. Acharya Vaishnavananda Bhakti Adhikari Purvena Machilayan Radha Guna Puri. The 20th prominent devotee of Nityananda Prabhu was Acharya Vaishnavananda, a great personality in devotional service. He was formerly known as Raghunath Puri. In the Gaur Ganuda Desh Deepika, it is said that Raghunath Puri was previously very powerful. In the 8 mystic successors, he was incarnation of one of the successors. So I don't know which one. Vishnu Dasanandana Gangadas Dinabhai Purve Yandra Hare Chila Thakura Nitai. Another important devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu was Vishnu Das, who had two brothers, Nandana and Gangadas. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sometimes stayed at their house. Purport: the three brothers, Vishnu Das, Nandana, and Gangadas, were residents of Navadvip and belonged to the Bhattacharya Brahman family. Both Vishnu Das and Gangadas stayed for some time with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. And the Chaitanya Bhagavat stated that formerly Nityananda Prabhu stayed at their house. Nityananda Britya Paramananda Upadhyay Shri Jiva Pandit Nityananda Gunagai. Paramananda Upadhyay was Nityananda Prabhu's great servitor. Shri Jiva Pandit glorified the qualities of Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Paramananda Upadhyay was an advanced devotee. His name is mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Shri Jiva Pandit is also mentioned as the second son of Ratnagarbha Acharya and a childhood friend of Hadai Ojha, the father of Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaur Ganuda Desh Deepika 169, it is said that Srila Jiva Pandit was formerly the Gopi named Indira. Indira, that's a beautiful name, right? Gopi Indira. So, Paramananda Upadhyay was an advanced devotee. He was a great servitor of Nityananda Prabhu. And his name is mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Shri Jiva Pandit is also mentioned as the second son of Ratna Garbha Acharya. Now, who is Ratna Garbha Acharya? I'm lost. I don't know. About him anywhere? I forgot them. And a childhood friend of Hadai Ojha. Now, this name you have to remember, Hadai Ojha. Because Hadai Ojha is the father of Nityananda Prabhu. So this Shri Jiva Pandit is the Gopi Indira. 45. Next 45. Paramananda Gupta Krishna Bhakta Mahamati Purve Yandra Ghare Nityanandera Vasati. The 31st devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu was Paramananda Gupta. Greatly devoted was greatly devoted to Lord Krishna and highly advanced in spiritual consciousness. Formerly, Nityananda Prabhu also resided at his house for some time. Paramananda Gupta composed a prayer to Lord Krishna known as Krishna Stavavali in the Gora Ganuda Desh Deepika 194 and 199. It is stated that he was formerly the Gopi name Manjumedha. Beautiful names, so we can make a note of all this Indira here. Manjumedha. 46. Nyarayana Krishna Dasara Manohara Devananda Chari Bhai Nittai Kinkara. The 32nd, 33rd, 34th, and 35th prominent devotees were Narayan, Krishnadas, Manohar, and Devananda, who always engaged in the service of Lord Nityananda. Text 47. Hora Krishnadasa Nityananda Prabhu Pran Nityananda Padavi Nahi Jani No. The 36th devotee of Lord Nityananda was Hora Krishnadas, whose life and soul was Nityananda Prabhu. He was always dedicated to the lotus feet of Nityananda, and he knew no one else but him. Hora Krishnadas. The residence of Krishnadas Hora was Baragachi, which is now in Bangladesh. Text 48. Nakadi Mukunda Surya Madhava Sridhara Sujagannatha Mahidhara. Among Lord Nityananda's devotees, Nakadi was the 37th, Mukunda the 38th, Surya the 39th, Madhava the 40th, Sridhara the 41st, Ramananda the 42nd, Jagannath the 43rd, and Mahidhara the 44th. Sridhar was the 12th Gopala. So Nityananda is Balaram, incarnation of Balaram. So Balaram comes with his Gopal, right? His friends. So these Nityananda is coming with his friends also. So here it is. Now we've been reading about the different Gopal who came in the Pasam of Nitai. Text 49. Shrimanta Gokuladasa Hariharananda Shivai Nandai Avadhuta Paramananda. Shrimanta was the 45th, Gokul Das the 46th, Hariharananda the 47th, Shivai the 48th, Nandai the 49th, and Paramananda the 50th. Devahuti, you want to read?
Text 50. Hare Krishna. बसंत नवनी होरा गोपाल सनातन बिश्नाई हजार कृष्णानंद सुलोचन. Translation. Vasant was the 51st, Navani Hora the 52nd, Gopal the 53rd, Sanatan the 54th, Bishnai the 55th, Krishnanand the 56th, and Sulochan the 57th. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, Navani Hora appears to have been the same person as Hora Krishnadas, the son of the king of Baragachi. His father's name was Hari Hora. One can visit Baragachi by taking the Lalgora Ghat railway line. Formerly, the Ganges flowed by Baragachi, but now it has become a canal known as Kalshira Khala. Near the Mudagacha station is a village known as Shaligram, in which King Krishnanand arranged for the marriage of Sri Nityanand Prabhu, as described in the Bhakti Ratnakar, 12th wave. It is sometimes said that Navni Hora was the son of Raja Krishnadas. His descendants still live in Rukunpada, a village near Bahiragachi. They belong to the Dakshin Radhiya Kayastha community, but having been reformed as Brahmanas, they still initiate all classes of men. Text 51. Kamsari Sena Ramasena Ramachandra Kaviraj Govinda Sri Ranga Mukunda Tina Kaviraj. Translation. The 58th great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu was Kamshari Sena. The 59th was Ramasena. The 60th was Ramchandra Kaviraj, and the 61st, 62nd, and 63rd were Govinda, Sriranga, and Mukunda, who were all physicians. Purport. Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, the son of Khandavasi Chiranjeeva and Sunanda, was a disciple of Srinivas Acharya and the most intimate friend of Narottam Das Thakur, who prayed several times for his association. His youngest brother was Govinda Kaviraj. Sri Jiva Goswami very much appreciated Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj's great devotion to Lord Krishna and therefore gave him the title Kaviraj. Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj, who was perpetually disinterested in family life, greatly assisted in the preaching work of Srinivas Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur. He resided at first in Sri Khanda, but later in the village of Kumar Nagar on the banks of the Ganges. Govinda Kaviraj was the brother of Ramchandra Kaviraj and the youngest son of Chiranjeeva of Srikhand. Although at first a Shakta or worshipper of goddess Durga, he was later initiated by Srinivas Acharya Prabhu. Govinda Kaviraj also resided first in Srikhand and then in Kumar Nagar, but later he moved to the village known as Telia Budhari on the southern bank of the river Padma. Since Govinda Kaviraj, the author of two books, Shongita Madhav and Gitamrita, was a great Vaishnav Kavi or poet, Srila Jiva Goswami gave him the title Kaviraj. He is described in the Bhakti Ratnakar 9th Ved. Kamsari Sena was formerly Ratnavali in Vraja, as described in the Gaura Ganadesh Dipika 194 and 200. Text.
Yes. So now this in text 50, I saw something. So just see something happened there. Again, like it's a very dynamic, things keep on happening, breaking, redoing, So here in text 50, we said that Navani Hora was the son of Raja Krishnadas. His descendants still live in Rukunapur, a village near Bahiragachi. They belong to the Dakshina Radhiya Kayastha community. But having been reformed as Brahmanas, they still initiate all classes of men. So they belong to the Kayastha family, but here, most probably by the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so they were reformed as Brahmana. So and they're initiating all classes of men. So meaning that whoever is qualified, hopefully, they will give them Diksha, right? And this Govinda Kaviraj, I don't know whether he's the famous author of this song, Bhajahure Mana Shri Nandana. Govinda Das Avila Sere, right? Yeah. I don't know whether that's him. Then Govinda Kaviraj was the brother of Ramachandra
Kaviraj.
So Ramachandra also is very famous. Ramchandra Kaviraj. Oh yeah, that's him. And we sing this song every day. We sing, hopefully. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kuro More Ramachandra Kaviraj. So this Ramachandra Kaviraj was the disciple of Srinivasa Acharya, and the most intimate friend of Narottam Das Thakur. So Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivasa Acharya, they were like god brothers. But Ramachandra Kaviraj was a disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. But he was so advanced that Narottam Das Thakur accepted him as his friend, considered him like advanced, very advanced on his level. So this is also something to learn. Sometimes a spiritual master may find a disciple to be very advanced. So his youngest brother is Govinda Kaviraj. So yes, so Ramchandra. Okay, so he was in disinterested in family life, greatly assisted the preaching work of Srinivas Acharya Narottam Das Thakur. So he's a very, very important branch. Ramachandra Kaviraj, very important. And Govinda Kaviraj, see, till today we are singing his songs. Although at first he was Shakta, a worshipper of the goddess, he was later initiated by Srinivas Acharya Prabhu. So he was a worshipper of Durga Devi. So by preaching, he became a devotee. So we can see all this going on. So if we take our Hare Krishna movement, you will find all these things, right? This one was a Saiva, this one was a Shakta, this one was a Mayavadi, this one was a Yogi, right? But everybody, by hearing the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they changed. So same thing that's going on here. Kamsa, where is it? Kamsari Sena. Kamsari Sena. I guess it means he who kills Kamsa, right? So it was Ratnavali. All right, Anupama Madhvi, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, text 52. Pitambara Madhavacharya Das Damodara Shankara Mukunda Jnana Das Manohara. Translation and purports by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Among the devotees of Lord Nityanand Prabhu, Pitambar was the 64th, Madhavacharya the 65th, Damodar Das the 66th, Shankara the 67th, Mukundara the 68th, Jnanadas the 69th, and Manohar the 70th. Nattaka Gopala Ramabhadra Gauranga Dasa Narsimha Chaitanya Meena Ketana Ramadasa. The dancer Gopala was the 71st, Rambhadra the 72nd, Gauranga Das the 73rd, Narsimha Chaitanya the 74th, and Minaketana Ramdas the 75th. The God Gunadesh Dipika 68 describes Minaketana Ramadas as an incarnation of Sankarsana. Text 54. Vrindavana Das Narayanira Nandana Chaitanya Mangala Yeno Karila Rachana. Vrindavan Das Thakur, the son of Srimati Narayani, composed Sri Chaitanya Mangal, later known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Text 55. Bhagavate Krishna Leela Varnila Veda Vyasa Chaitanya Leela Te Vyasa Vrindavana Dasa. Srila Vyasadev described the pastimes of Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vyasa of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Vrindavan Das. Purport. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was an incarnation of Veda Vyasa and also a friendly cowherd boy named Kusuma Pida in Krishna Leela. In other words, the author of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the son of Srivas Thakur, niece Narayani, was a combined incarnation of Veda Vyasa and the cowherd boy Kusuma Pida. There is a descriptive statement by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, giving the biographical details of the life of Vrindavan Das Thakur.
So we've heard of Ketana Ramadas. We had heard about this incident, how Krishna Das Kaviraj So there was a tiff between him and his brother because Mina Ketena Ramadas was not respected in Nityananda Prabhu's house. He was insulted. So therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj left home and went to Vrindavan. And now he got the order, to write Chaitanya Bhagavat. Oh, that was Krishnadas Kaviraj, who was in his house. In his house that this incident happened. And then he came to Vrindavan, and then he was requested to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this is Vrindavan Das Thakur. So, another cowherd boyfriend of Nityananda. So, what's his name? Kusuma Pida. Krishna Lila. So he's the Vyasadeva, Veda Vyas of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shni?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Sarva Shaksha Restha Virabhadra Gasani Tanra Upa Shakhayata Tara Antanayi. Among all the branches of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Virabhadra Gasani was the topmost. His sub-branches were unlimited. Text 57. Ananta Nityananda Gana Kekaro Ganana Atma Pavitrana Hetu Likhilankata Jana. No one can count the unlimited followers of Nityananda Prabhu. I have mentioned some of them just for my self-purification. 58. Ei Sarva Shakha Purna Parva Prema Pale Yare Deke Tare Dia Vasaila Sakale. All these branches, the devotees of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, being full of ripened fruit, love of Krishna, distributed these fruits to all they met, flooding them with love of Krishna. Anargala Prema Sabara Chesta Anargala Prema Dite Krishna Dite Dare Mahabala. All these devotees had unlimited strength to deliver unobstructed, unceasing love of Krishna. By their own strength, they could offer anyone Krishna and love of Krishna. Purport. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung Krishna se tomara Krishna di te para tomara shakati ake. In this song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that the pure Vaishnava, as the proprietor of Krishna and love of Krishna, can deliver both to anyone and everyone he likes. Therefore, to get Krishna and love of Krishna, one must seek the mercy of pure devotees. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says, Yasya prashadat bhagavat prashada, yasya prashadat nagativ kutopi. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one is blessed by the mercy of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. By the grace of a Vaishnava or bona fide spiritual master, one can get both love of Godhead, Krishna, and Krishna himself. Text 60.
Yeah. This is very important. All these devotees had unlimited strength to deliver unobstructed, unceasing love of Krishna. By their own strength, they could offer anyone Krishna and love of Krishna. So, just like in mundane life, we take birth and then we are connected to the pitris, to our forefathers, right? This is our line. When we take birth, then automatically we are indebted in their gotra, right? Now, everyone should know here, whoever is initiated, we should know that when we take Diksha, we get connected to these lines. All right? These are our pitris. This is our lineage, our spiritual lineage. So there is a huge, so he says here, all these devotees had unlimited strength to deliver unobstructed, unceasing love of Krishna. So it's not that one person is giving us Diksha. It is all these are all our ancestors, our great grandfathers. They are all there. They are pulling us. So if one person is not able to do one thing, then the other one is coming forward immediately, but no soul is lost. No soul is lost. It's a great journey, a huge journey, and even a little increment of advancement on this path, it is taken into account by these ancestors. So that's how all these devotees had unlimited strength. How is it that one human being can have unlimited strength? No. So how they had unlimited strength? Because they're connected to a chain that doesn't consist of one only. It consists of all these devotees you've read about. And we read earlier, says that unlimited sub-branches. So Veerbhadra Goswami, I think this is Nityananda Prabhu's son himself, the topmost. His sub-branches are unlimited. No one can count the unlimited followers of Nityananda Prabhu. We had heard also about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So go Nitai. All right. If you are fortunate enough to worship Go Nitai, then you know that along with Go Nitai, this the entire host of the associates, the devotees are involved in our lives. So this is very, very important. Switch. All right, Shashi, you have a book you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 60. Sankeshipa kahi lana e nityanand gana, yana hari avadi na paya sahasra vadana. I have briefly described only some of the followers and devotees of Lord Nityanand Prabhu. Even the 1,000-mouthed Sheshnag cannot describe all these unlimited devotees. Shri Rupa Raghunath Padi Yara Asa Chaitanya Chaitamrita Kahi Krishna Dasa. With an ardent desire to serve the purpose of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Adi Lila, 11th chapter, in the matter of the expansion of Lord Nityananda.
Okay, so now, the reason why I want to conclude on this note, that why we are reading all these names, we don't even know who they are, we don't even be interested in them, where they live, where their railway station is, what happened to their house. So many stuff happened, right? Why we're sitting, day after day, we are reading, I don't know how many pages we've read about them, because they are very much part of our life. Because these are the ancestors, our spiritual ancestors, who are taking us out from this cycle of birth and death. Who, we read earlier, he says, by their own strength, they could offer, they had unlimited strength to deliver unobstructed, unceasing love of Krishna. Meaning that anargala prema sabara. Cheshta anargala. Unchecked love of Krishna, unlimited love of Krishna, and unlimited activity, unchecked activity, meaning their strength. So meaning that if any devotee at any point gets stuck somewhere, these devotees will give a push. You follow this? All of us, when we are walking on this path of Krishna consciousness, doesn't matter who we are, from small to big. Everybody see, we have been in this material world anadikal, and we have collected so much prarabdha karma with us. Prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma. We have collected, but we are going out, we have made a decision. Our own self, we have made a decision that I want to come out. But as I move, my past, my past samskar, they come and they create obstruction. So here, see, there's nothing sentimental about practicing Krishna consciousness or devotional service. Many obstructions are going to come. But these devotees have unlimited strength to just push us ahead. And because they have one goal to give us unceasing love of Krishna, meaning love of Krishna that is not checked by anything. And by their own strength, they could offer anyone Krishna and love of Krishna. How do you feel about this? Yes, Amrita, Radhe, you had your end. How are you feeling about this section?
Mataji, wonderful. I'm just thinking, like, if we have the desire, then we can achieve the goal by the mercy of the entire Guru Parampara. So that's very, I mean, relieving for us. One small question, Mataji. Here, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that he has an ardent desire to serve the purpose of Sri Rup and Sri Raghunath. So, if I understand all this correctly, purpose of Sri Rup and Sri Raghunath is to give us Krishna Prem. And is that correct? And second question is, why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, or why all of us also say Rup and Raghunath? Why Raghunath Das Goswami is called and not Sanatan Goswami or any other Goswami? If these two questions I had.
Yeah, so your first question, right? Swayam Rupa Kadam Ahiyam, Vedati Swapadam to become. Their purpose was the purpose of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what was the purpose of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? To give love of Krishna, right? So they have understood this. And then second one, Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath. Yes, I've forgotten. I've read a lot, heard a lot that it comes in and goes out in other ears, but I've forgotten. Why Shri Raghunath? But obviously, Raghunath is our Prayojan Guru. Srila Rupa Goswami is giving us the Abhiday, the method of Abhiday, the practice of Krishna consciousness. And Raghunath Das Goswami is giving us the Prayojan, meaning love of Krishna.
Okay,
So,
okay, ma'am.
yes, it's something, I'm giving you a philosophical answer here, but there is something more which I have forgotten. History I forget.
Okay, no problem.
See, when I see some philosophy and it sticks in my memory, otherwise, zero memory.
No problem, Mataji. Philosophy is important for me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Right, chapter 12.
Which Raghunath is that? The Raghunath Bhatt?
Raghunath Das.
Raghunath Das.
Raghunath Das.
Huh? Das. Okay.
Yes. So Raghunath Das is. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it, heard that, as I said, history I forget. chapter 12. The expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit. So we have read about the branches of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then we've heard about Nityananda Prabhu. Now we're hearing about Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit. So this is the Panch Tattva. All right. Indira Radha, you want to read?
Haribol. Chapter 12, the expansions of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Pandit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives a summary of the 12th chapter in his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya. The 12th chapter describes the followers of Advaita Prabhu, among whom the followers of Achyutananda, the son of Advaita Acharya, understood to be the true followers who received the creed of the philosophy of Sri Advaita Acharya enunciated. Other so-called descendants and followers of Advaita Acharya are not to be recognized. This chapter also includes narrations concerning the son of Advaita Acharya named Gopal Mishra and Advaita Acharya's servant named Kamalakanta Vishwas. In his early life, Gopal fainted during the cleansing of the Gundicha Mandir at Jagannath Puri, and thus became a recipient of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The story of Kamalakanta Vishwas concerns his borrowing 300 rupees from Pratapa Rudra Maharaj to clear a debt of Advaita Acharya, for which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him when he came to know of it. Kamalakanta Vishwas was then purified by the request of Sri Advaita Acharya. After describing the descendants of Advaita Acharya, the chapter concludes by describing the followers of Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. Text 1.
Yeah,
Very-
just in this section, and I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote one book called From Imperfection to Perfection, from imperfection to perfection. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of these records of how we are imperfect, and then by reformation, by chastisement here, then you're purified, and then you become better. So there is no what you call like utopian idea in Krishna consciousness. There's at no point is there that everybody is perfect with no fault. At no point. Everybody has something. And the real thing, so that's why I'm just thinking about this 26 qualities of a devotee. In the 26 qualities of a devotee, the statement that among these 26 qualities of a devotee, there is Krishna Sharanam. So the most important quality is that this devotee has taken shelter of Krishna. And now here we are just reading, we just came to Kamalakanta, the story we told. And so he has taken shelter of Krishna, but there was some fault. There was some fault. And his name is recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita for our sake, right? And in our own circle also, I don't know how it works among the congregation. I really don't know how it works. But if you do service together, this is one very important thing. If you are, like today, fortnightly, we read, every Ekadashi, we read a Juhu book, in the temple. So there was this story of how, Prabhupada brought devotees from the West to India, and he wanted to propagate Juhu temple. But they were all Americans. Prabhupada just took them out from America. He brought them here in a strange country. Where they can't function, they can't do anything. So then, very important. So then now they're all youngsters, they were in their 20s. They were in their 20s, like Viraj Swami was in his 20s. So they have to build this temple. Prabhupada is in his late 70s or mid 70s, I can't remember. And he's traveling everywhere. Here he is, he has to fight a super cunning cheater, right? And snatch away the land from him, and now they have to build. The next challenge was building, So, like Giriraj Maharaj just said that he thought his work was done. The land is acquired, everything is done, his work is done. Now he can go back to US and do what he likes to do. He can preach to Westerners. He cannot find himself here in India building a temple. He says, okay, others will build. But Gopal Krishna Maharaj said no. So when Giriraj was ready to take off and go back to the US, so Gopal Krishna Maharaj said no. He said, no, they need Giriraj Swami. He said, Giriraj Swami, we stay. You have to stay. And so Giriraj was torn, here he wants to go back to US, and here he was in India, in Bombay. So he was saying that, okay, to come to India, to come to Vrindavan or Mayapur, these are holy places, but Bombay is just a city. What do we have here? It's just a city. Why should he stay here in a city and put in so much work? So then they went to Prabhupada and said, okay, Prabhupada will decide. So Prabhupada told Giriraj Swami, you stay. He was in his 20s. He said, no, you stay here. Now we have to build a temple, and they have to collect funds. So this is the important thing. This book, Juhu book, is not just a story. It's not just a story. It is how to practice devotional life. It's a book that you have to study. Everything that I have learned by being with my Guru Maharaj Giriraj Swami, whatever I have learned from him and whatever I have executed, he has put it in his books. It's not his own books, it's Prabhupada's teaching, So in this incident, so then when Prabhupada told him, no, you stay here and you build the temple. So then he says, all right, he just made that commitment. So the point here was about the commitment. So he made the commitment that he will live here in Bombay his whole life. His whole life. And he will build this temple. Then when he made that commitment, others also made the commitment. And then they understood that if one is a disciple is surrendered to Guru and makes a commitment to serve the mission of Guru, then others also, they get the strength, like we just spoke about strength earlier. So they became a team, and what was it? Committing their life to the mission. So why am I speaking about this? Because those devotees in the entire ISKCON who commit their lives to a project and they work together, these devotees become so strong, extremely strong, and they are able to appreciate and also tolerate the faults of one another. Because nobody is perfect. everybody's got their own, baggage from so many lives. Everybody got their own style. And what a challenge, in an international society like ISKCON. You have not only, your own community to deal with, you've got the entire world community to deal with, right? So you have to live with them and accept, So here, my point about this from imperfection to perfection. So this will happen. So this will happen only when we stay in a sangha. Because now this is no more, like a mission. It was very focused, very intense. Now, like the movement is spread. Now we're all spread out. And then I have my friends who I walk in and out. Sometimes I like you, sometimes I hate you. And if I hate you, I stop coming in your sangha. I just throw you out. I don't see your face again. You don't see mine again. This is the stuff that we do. How will our imperfection become perfect? It's very loose, extremely loose. So being in a group, in a sangha, and working together and tolerating one another, this is what will make us go through whatever. Now the scene is set, you could say, with all these devotees, a list of names that we have heard. The scene is set. Who are those who are helping us? We are not alone in this endeavor. There's our ancestors, our spiritual ancestors, who are keeping a watch on us. Meaning that no longer the devas are making me take birth in my mother's womb through my father. No, it is being decided by these acharyas. They are guiding my journey in life. Meaning that even if I goof up and I fall, they are there to catch me and make me go up again. Right? So such a small description here that we are going to read it. Yeah. Who was reading? Amrita Radhe, that was you?
Indira Mataji was reading.
Oh, Indira Radha. Indira Radha, okay, read. Okay, read.
Text 1. Advaita Tangri Abja Brigamstan. Advaita Tangri Abja Brigamstan. Sarasara Vitokilam. It was Saran Sara Tara Vito. Naumi Chaitanya Jivanan. The followers of Sri Advaita Prabhu were of two kinds. Some were real followers, and the others were false. Rejecting the false followers, I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Advaita Acharya's real followers, whose life and soul was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There were real and false followers.
Yeah, we're going to read about it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's life. That's life. So that's why we need to know. That's life. We are in a material world, so real and false followers. Yeah, continue.
Text 2. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Chaitanya. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Sri Advaita Prabhu. All of them are glorious. Text 3. Sri Chaitanya Marataro Divitta Skanda Rupinaha Srimad Advaita Chandrasya Saka Rupanitana Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to the all glorious Advaita Prabhu, who forms the second branch of the eternal Chaitanya tree and to his followers who form his sub-branches.
Yeah,
Text
Amrita
4.
Radhe, you complete this section, no?
Okay, so I should continue?
Yes.
Okay, Mataji. 12.4 वृक्षेर द्वितीय स्कंद आचार्य गोसाई तानारायत शाखा होइलो तारा लेखनाई. Sri Advaita Prabhu was the second big branch of the tree. There are many sub-branches, but it is impossible to mention them all. 12.5 Chaitanya Malira Kripa Jalera Sechana Shei Jale Pushta Skandha Bade Dina Dine. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also the gardener, and as he poured the water of his mercy on the tree, all the branches and sub-branches grew day after day. 12.6 Shei Skandhe Yata Prema Phala Upajilo Shei Krishna Preme Phale Jagat Bharilo. The fruits of love of Godhead that grew on those branches of the Chaitanya tree were so large that they flooded the entire world with love of Krishna. 12.7 Shei jale skandhe kore shakhate sanchara phale phule bade shakha hoilo vistara. As the trunk and branches were watered, the branches and the sub branches spread lavishly, and the tree grew full with fruits and flowers. 12.8 प्रथमे ता एकमत आचार्येर गण पाछे दुई मत होइलो दैवेर कारण. At first, all the followers of Advaita Acharya shared a single opinion, but later they followed two different opinions as ordained by Providence. The words Daivira Karana indicate that by dint of providence or by God's will, the followers of Advaita Acharya divided into two parties. Such disagreement among the disciples of one Acharya is also found among the members of Gaudiya Math. In the beginning, during the presence of Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, all the disciples worked in agreement. But just after his disappearance, they disagreed. One party strictly followed the instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but another group created their own concoction about executing his desires. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the time of his departure, requested all his disciples to form a governing body and conduct missionary activities cooperatively. He did not instruct a particular man to become the next Acharya, but just after his passing away, his leading secretaries made plans without authority to occupy the post of Acharya, and they split into two factions over who the next Acharya would be. Consequently, both factions were asara or useless because they had no authority, having disobeyed the order of the spiritual master. Despite the spiritual master's order to form a governing body and execute the missionary activities of the Gaudiya Math, the two unauthorized factions began litigation that is still going on after 40 years with no decision. Therefore, we do not belong to any faction, but because the two parties busy dividing the material assets of the Gaudiya Math institution stopped the preaching work, we took up the mission of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur to preach the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world under the protection of all the predecessor acharyas, and we find that our humble attempt has been successful. We followed the principles especially explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita verse beginning Vyavasaitmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana. According to this instruction of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it is the duty of a disciple to follow strictly the orders of his spiritual master. The secret of success is to establish the firm faith of the disciple in the orders of his spiritual master. The Vedas confirm this. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaita kathaita hya arthaha prakashante mahatmana. to one who has staunch faith in the words of the spiritual master and the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the secret of success in Vedic knowledge is revealed. The Krishna consciousness movement is being propagated according to this principle, and therefore our preaching work is going on successfully. In spite of the many impediments offered by the antagonistic demons, because we are getting positive help from our previous acharyas. One must judge every action by its result. The members of the self appointed Acharya's party who occupied the property of the Gaudiya Mutt are satisfied, but they could make no progress in preaching. Therefore, by the result of their actions, one should know that they are asara or useless, whereas the success of the ISKCON party, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which strictly follows Guru and Gauranga, is increasing daily all over the world. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to print as many books as possible and distribute them all over the world. We have tried our best in this connection and we are getting results beyond our expectations.
So very interesting section, right? So see, there is a phenomenon that happens. It happened with Advaita Acharya. Now it happens also with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, he had maybe 4,000-5,000 disciples. And when he left this world, so naturally there was like the disciples just got scattered. And finally, I think they had around 1,000 disciples who were like still there and doing something. But then those who actually held the movement and make it grow, these were counted in the few hundreds, you know. So this is like natural. This is something quite natural. So therefore the words Devera Karana indicates that by dint of providence or by God's will, the followers of Advaita Acharya divided into two parties. One divided into So this is what happens. So they were at first the followers of Advaita Acharya shared a single opinion, but later they followed two different opinions as ordained by providence. Devera Karana. It's a phenomenon. Just like I just saw now there is wildfire, in California, attacking Los Angeles, right? Now, who can trace why this is happening, right? And I just saw that the Hollywood section has been burnt down, the houses, the Hollywood section. Who knows, right? So in spiritual organization also, in the spiritual line, as we're reading now, so we have read a list of Mahaprabhu's followers, his branches, some real followers, some false followers, right? So it is a phenomena that one acharya or one guru, when he leaves, the disciples dissipate. Mostly they dissipate. Only a handful will stay. And these are the devotees who will continue, a core group who will continue. But we have to be very careful that we are in the right party. If by ill luck a core group stays, but we adopt the wrong philosophy, then we propagate wrong philosophy. And that's what's going to happen here with Advaita Acharya. First, all the followers of Advaita Acharya shared a single opinion, but later they followed two different opinions as ordained by providence. They say it's like a sifting, the real, because everybody looks same. Everybody look Kantimala, Tilak, churki, whatever, dhoti, kurta, sari, anyway, these people don't wear sari. You know, they look like devotees. So therefore, when you start to sift, then you know who is who. Party they belong to. Here Prabhupada speaks of party. So this is in terms of the mission. This is in terms of the mission, but the mission is the people. If there is no people, there's no mission. So there are two things. One is your own personal mission, and the other thing is that there's the mission of the people. So if you're a preacher, you're an acharya, you're a mentor, you're a guy, you're a guru, whatever, you have people with you, right? And you're guiding them and you're taking them somewhere. But then the mentor, the guy, the guru has his own mission. His own mission is he has to take care of himself, right? So these two things happen simultaneously. So how this happens is going to be discussed here in this section. So the people, and see, the people usually, they don't want Krishna. So very easily, they just, as soon as they find something goes wrong, immediately they move off. This is the immediate reaction of people. They come close, you know, and so that there is some problem, they shift. They just move on. They are not ready to be part of something where there is some problem, right? So those who are sincere, they stick together. Like we said earlier, they stick together. And you say, let's work through this together. So this is something that happens all the time when an acharya leaves this world, or when an acharya stops his missionary activities for whatever reason. So we're going to read this. Going to read this and study what happens. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.